Can you hear me now? Hopefully that's worked. Sound now? Sound now? There we go. Always a tech issue in the morning. Always a tech issue. Computer does an update and OBS forgets the mic. All right, there we go. What was I saying? Don't worry, Tim, we've got plenty of time. All right, it's Friday. Friday. Well done making it to Friday. But don't be giving back all your gains on a Friday. We always talk about this. The worst day to have a bad red day is on a Friday, because then you have to stew about it all weekend long. So nice and easy today, please. It's also OPEX. We also have news coming all the way up until 10 o'clock. OPEX, that is the options expiry, all right, which is why you've probably seen divergence in the tape the last few days. It's why you've seen some of these big orders. It's why you're seeing push, pull with a lack of follow through. Yesterday, after I got off, you should have had a good day, all right? It gave you a really, really nice expansion up. And once they blew out all the shorts, it gave you a really nice backside all the way back down, all right? So yesterday was your money maker. Today, well, we're going to go over it in the charts, all right? And you can see where we are. So let's do that right now. Daily chart, all right? Have we pulled back this week? No, we haven't, all right? You can just see this week. There's Friday close last week. There's the gap up Monday, big drive Monday. Tuesday, pull back in London, Asia, big drive up. Wednesday, sideways, all right? Never really expanded the range. Thursday, we peaked the range, we drive back inside. Friday, we're still inside the range. So really, right now, what I'm trying to make you see is we are inside pretty much from Tuesday close here, all right? Tightening of a range here. All right, tightening of a range. This can be bullish consolidation. Absolutely. If they want to do bullish consolidation, whether they use it today or next week, they have room up here. But if we look left, what are we coming into? All right, major areas. All right, this is from the end of last year, beginning of this year, where all these buyers got stuck. This is supply where we broke down from. We're coming to back test it. So really, you don't want to long, like I kept talking about, I don't really want to long for the move into there in case I get slammed on. All right, I'd much rather it pushes, pulls back, finds some support, goes again, does this. Something like that for the next few months is a much easier, nicer trade than just this move. Remember, point of origin is here. All right, you're buying here for a move into supply right now. And the risk is all the way down here. We have no real structure until we get all the way down here. Right, that's your risk higher time frame right now if you're looking at that. Like, would I be buying calls or anything like that here? Absolutely not. I'd lean on puts more than anything, right, just because of positioning. So you have to be aware of that. We move into the hourlies. All right, just focus on this chart for now. All right, we've got this sort of like broadening wedge on an hourly. Now, I thought last night we had the possibility when we were, thank you, darling, when we were here last night, and let's get the time right, Thursday, I think it was about here. I was saying to the team, they have the possibility of rejecting here and giving this rotation. This here was key, all right? Bears failed again. Again, the bears failed. We have to respect what we're seeing on the charts. Bears had the chance here to rotate back down last night at, what time is that? 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. They failed. It found a bid and drove out and broke out of all of this range. And now we're consolidating above this range. All right, this is bullish consolidation. If they get a breakout here this morning, all right, you should be taking some longs and taking money into here. If they hold, you're long above it. If they fail above and look below, then we go back into range. If they fail in front and come back below, we look into range. These are range rotation trades. These are my least favorite trades. Those who know me all know I hate playing back and forth like this. I way prefer this or this. All right, much easier trades. But that's what we're setting up. So we have to respect that. Bears failed again. When did they last fail? Yesterday. All right, here's London yesterday. This is where I was saying I would have much rather been long from down here yesterday. They had the chance again on that pullback yesterday, failed again. All right, you're just seeing bears fail over and over again. When we get failed breakouts, remember most bears would have come short in here looking for continuation without having it do this, and they get trapped and cause the squeeze. If lots of bears came in again last night here looking for rotation down and didn't get it, they will be getting squeezed again. So we have to respect that. If we just look up here a minute on the 5 minute, actually, do you know what? Let's put the SVP on so you can just see the key levels. Ignore this. This is overnight. I'd be watching this right here. Value area high, 450. Point of control, 410. Value area low, 288. All right, I'd be watching that. That's where you built up most of your range yesterday. I'd say this here is absolutely key. This kind of area here today. This is what the battleground would be. 415 to 350. Above that, bulls are in control. We get beneath that and stay heavy. There is a rotation back towards these lows. All right, so that blue box there, absolutely key, I would say. If we look at where we are, I would imagine we're fairly balanced. So yesterday, you can see we moved the point of control up. Wednesday's point of control based on time. Yesterday's point of control based on time. Today, possibly moving up. We're just walking up the constant point of control. What does that mean? Where the volume is, where the volume is, where the volume is. Maybe we get it all the way up here. Who knows? These are the next levels it can aim for. 630, basically just in front of 700. All right, so bulls are still in control here, folks. All right, until they get completely exhausted, they're still in control. Must respect it. Cannot force your way in. All right, if there's going to be a rotation, like we always say, it would be nice and obvious. Lower time frame, you can see it even more clearly. All right, we just bounced off that hourly level we just talked about. This is the battleground here. All the time we're holding this, we're very bullish. We just came up to top level of supply from yesterday. You can see this is where we failed yesterday, and we failed back down to where we found bids. All right, this is your chop fest zone. This zone here is where I don't really want to be involved. I'm not really too keen from 420s up to just call it 500s, right? This can be range rotation. If you're a range trader, this is where you're looking for longs, and this is maybe where you're selling those back down, all right, until it proves otherwise. I hate trading range, so that's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to look for either a failed breakout or a breakout pullback and go, or the same the other way around in demand, to make that really, really clear and simple. The other thing I want to talk about today is we do have, why is it not deleting it? We have major divergence. All right, I want you to look at this chart. In fact, let's make it even easier. Let's go to a 5 minute, and we're going to go to QQQ. Okay, on the Qs, you can see right here, we've now reclaimed previous day high, but we haven't taken out this level here. All right, let's have a look at the spiders. And you'll see we're gapping up. All right, on the spiders, here is previous day high. We're basing above right now. This is the divergence. So SPY has taken all-time weekly and monthly highs. QQQ has not overnight. Need to be aware of that, folks. Right, this is probably the divergence showing. If SPY starts letting go of previous day high, right, it's going to probably add sell pressure into the QQQ, which is the weaker of the two pairs right now. All right. So we've got to be very careful today. Like I said, you've just seen now a bit of a kill candle coming in on the NQ right into that level we just went over. If you look at the VIX, VIX is low 17s or mid 17s, straight downtrend on the VIX. All right, you can make it really easy. You're not looking for shorts in the market until the VIX starts doing this. When the VIX starts doing this, you probably get a really nice short in the market. All right, we're coming into big high time frame levels. If you look at a daily, these levels down here, all of this. All right, when we're down here, we're very, very healthy and bullish in the market. All right, I would expect at some point soon the VIX will get a bit of a rebound into 20s before coming back down. All right, so maybe after OPEX, but just be aware of what's going on in the market. Let's get back to, let's do the MAG quickly while we're here. Apple basically open on close yesterday, inside range, nothing to do there. Microsoft, same thing, inside previous day range, bit of a gap down, but not much to do there. Amazon, same thing, inside yesterday's range, previous day high, not too far away, bit of a gap up, but not too much to do. Google, very strong. Why? because the news last week or beginning of this week was absolute nonsense, like we talked about. So this was a panic over nothing, and now they've been grinding all the way back. And what do you have now? It can set up something like this for next week. Amazing trade. If you bought that down there when I said this is probably a very good buy at 150s, I mean, you're laughing. You're 20 points higher in just a few sessions already. Meta, that looks like one of the weaker ones. A bit of profit taking here, gapping down, coming into key levels here. Nvidia remain strong on an absolute tear. We always say any buys on Nvidia 100 or below are just easy money, and you can see just easy money. All my friends back in the UK who do exactly what I tell them to do and buy 100 and below and not above, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing. Tesla gonna open flat here. Big question mark on Tesla here. All right, it's built this out. Can it do it? Failed breakout. We'll use this liquidity to wash back down. Very much like the Qs. How long have we got? A few minutes. All right. So you can see Qs there just drove up, found a bit of a sell into supply, and now found a bid on value area high. So this is the chop. This is the chop. You can see it already. Whoa, big push out there off value area high. Let's get into some good mornings. See who's here. Taking it nice and slow today. Wow, what a candle. Is there news? That is a monster building in the chart. 50 plus points. Let's see who's here. Good morning, Clint. John. John, thank you so much, my friend. Very, very kind. With the little Friday bonus and super chat, paying for my coffee and lunch on a Friday. Good morning, Ramus, Miguel, Go for Hill, Jeff, Chris, Christy, DJ Noah, TR, Thumper, Paul, Capt, Crawford, Leron, Michael, Marek. Thank you very much, just like John, for the super chat. Very, very kind. JD, Mike, Miguel, Russell, Toby. I'm going to see all the... You've got no sound. Jesse, TR, Alligator, DK. Good morning, everyone. Peter, Willa, Brandon, Ken, Ash, Raphael, Anitas, Trentry, Brad, Zach, Array, Eva, Indicator. Yeah, 10 o'clock Michigan news, Michigan sentiment, consumer sentiment. That being sold into right on supply. You can see the reaction there. Abe, Juan Carlos, Alan, Greg, Myron, Gus, Aga, Eon, Jake, Bowden, Greg, Glenn. Feeling better? Well, I'm heavily medicated, so I'm not feeling too much would be the answer right now. But I've got to go back tomorrow. I've got a problem with C3, C4, and arthritis in my shoulder. I think I talked about that yesterday, which I've had since my days of playing rugby, unfortunately. And we'll just see, guys. We'll see what happens. Hopefully no surgery, but I'm not counting it out right now. They might need to go and vacuum out that shoulder a little bit. Yeah, Michigan, 10 o'clock Eastern. All right, market open here. Get my glasses on. Some fairly violent moves just before the open and at the open. And let's see what they want to do. Are we going to go into a sell today, or does the non-stop push continue? There was a post from Trump just before. It's not related to the stock market. He's talking about Taylor Swift. Hilarious. He said, since I said I hate Taylor Swift, she's not hot anymore. I don't think you're allowed to say that, are you? Oh, funny. All right, folks. Failing view up here. Let's get the New York Open in. Back down to demand in this chop zone. All right, so if you're a range rotation player, maybe this is something you like. This is not conditions that I like right now. I'm going to wait. Back towards that trend line. If they start failing underneath H1 pivots, it could be a really interesting day. But right now, we're just back into the midpoint of London, back to previous day point of control coming up. Some decent selling this morning. Mixed bag on the MAG. Divergence still there. VIX finding a bit of a gap up, 1760. Let's see if this cools down or not. or if we're going to go straight risk off on a Friday. Into that trend line here, into 21s, you can see that white line. This is the trend line. This is the start of demand. This is previous day close if they're going to go for an efficient move and close the gap, which they might well do. This is the chop zone. So Tesla 1.22% up, Nvidia 0.85% up, Google 2.75% up, Amazon 1/3% up, Apple 1/3% up, Meta 1.30% down, Microsoft 0.75% down. So finding a bid off that trend line we just talked about. Back towards the VWAP we go. I honestly have no idea what their plans and intentions are today. If we start breaking down, we can think about joining. If we break out and hold above, we can think about joining. What I don't really want to do is participate too much in here unless it starts becoming very clear and obvious that we're going into a move. Right now, we're just trapped in a range. I mean, yeah, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan by any means. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's funny to say it. I wonder what Kelsey has to say about that. Are they still together? Or is that over now? Was that fame romance done? They both got what they needed. Okay, back to VWAP here. I tell you what, we'll put a New York anchor on the 930 print. There you go. So it's stuck at that New York anchor for now. Feels like it wants to wash, but like it's every time it's felt like that the last week, it's found a bid, hasn't it? Sellers have been trapped in this, or short players have been trapped in this. Get an anchor on my New York here as well. Yeah, so stuck underneath that New York anchor right now. Since the print, sellers in control. Just since the open, that's all I'm saying. So weird how Ninja open and closes are different to TradingView. Okay, so just going to require some patience here, folks. You're going to require some patience. We've come back into range. We're into that blue box. Look at the higher time frames. We just went over it. I know it's very messy. It's what happens when we're in chop fest. If they hold this, they can rotate. If they start to fail this, there's a move back down to London and Asia lows. If they hold that, they can rotate. If they fail that, there's a move back down to the next level. All right, and we're just in a giant range. So your first 5-minute bar now printed. So those of you playing a 5-minute orb, you now have your print. Finding a bid like we talked about every time so far. It's felt weak this week. It's found a bid, and it's found a bid off demand. Where's it going to go? Probably come and test New York open value area high and supply. If it can start getting through those, it can get squeezy. If it doesn't, we just go back and forwards. Respecting those flow zones for now and the VWAPs for now. Remember, Michigan sentiment coming at 10 o'clock. Is there a 9:45 print? In my head, there's a 9:45 print as well. Let me just triple check this. No, just 10 o'clock. Bids on the tape. 375, 350s. That's where the bids are right now on the tape. Much, much lower. We will see. We will see. At least I can turn my head today. That's a good start. Q's at lows. SPY trying to find a bid. It's back to that trend line again. Stuck at those VWAPs for now. I'm wondering if they're going to give a bit of a flush move here through this trend line. I'm going to put a little piece on just in case they want to play ball here. if they're going to show me the flush. Not in yet, just waiting to see if momentum comes in here. There's trend. Only thing is there's a player at 400. I want to see if they take him out. That would basically be previous day close. Thinking about this maybe better here. Maybe not going to play this. Maybe they just do gap fill and soak. I don't want to risk just for 16 points. So just going to give this a second. If we start getting heavy under that though, maybe more interested. Looks like they want to do it. Thought about it, and then I'm just like, this is not a good short area, Alex. Even if you think we're going to go to here, just wait. Very much thought about just taking that bear flag breakdown through that trend line. I need more patience today than that. Tesla on a big push out the gate. 350s on Tesla. Mixed bag on a mag. Yeah, really nice on Tesla. It's a nice morning drive. Cleared out the highs. I'd say 350s to 348 under over on Tesla if you're playing that today. Big levels. So gap being filled here on the Qs and on the spiders. This is your gap close. This is yesterday's close, that yellow line. It is also a VWAP from yesterday. We get rid of that. So gap now filled. Filled it on the QQQ and the spiders. Didn't quite fill it on the futures, but it did on the cash. On this, on the ETFs, it just got filled. So efficient market. Seeing a little bit of a bid off that. So this is the only reason I didn't want to take the short. We're coming straight into the gap fill and an area of demand, that blue box. Want to be careful here. If we fail this, then maybe they rotate to 360s, 350s. If they hold this, we go straight back upside, probably up towards the New York Open and VWAP, which is what we're seeing here. This is why I didn't take the short. I thought about it and I was like, that's a bad idea, Alex. Your location's terrible. So VWAP here, value area high above, New York Open above that. That buyer at 400 didn't even get filled. Momentum is bullish. Trying to bear that in mind as well, and trying to talk myself into a short. I'm like, mate, there's not many shorts going on in this market right now. We are bullish. What's up, Max? Nice to see you. All right, SPY coming back to its VWAP. We're just inside range still between the blue and the red. You can just zoom out. Just stick to like a 5 minute or something right now. You can just see these are the levels. They're soaking off here. They're selling this. Until something changes, that's what's happening. Don't get yourself stuck in anything this morning. It's Friday. It's OPEX. You've got divergence between these markets right now. Nice, Max. Yeah, I bet you've had a nice run on gold. Very nice. So spiders getting stuck there at their VWAPs. How long we got here? 20 minutes until the news. Look at Tesla. Back underneath that key level. Let go of the 50s. All right, so big morning drive out on Tesla and now letting go. That's fairly telling, I would say, for Tesla if the rest of the market's going to follow. So failed breakout basically on Tesla. It's cleared out the liquidity and it's trading back inside. Back towards PDC here on the market. There is a bid here at 400. Yeah, news at 10 o'clock, Michigan sentiment. Want to get through that. get into a play ideally after that, and then see what's what. ES coming back down to PDC here. We're starting to trade through it now. On the rest of the market, they're starting to let go. They don't find a bid here. There is potential for a deeper move down into 350, 360s now that we've closed the gap. So ES now has efficiently closed the gap as well. They don't find a bid here. There is a move down into 350s, 360s. We are slightly underneath that trend line now. They're going to make it hard today. It's not going to be easy. VIX trying to find a bid, 1770s. Interested in getting into this if pops start to fail. Not before then, though. Don't want to join this late in the day. Tesla really starting to sell now. I reckon Tesla ends up going red. I think that was a big breakout to potentially go red. So gap filled. Do they find a bid and go upside? Maybe they just chop around until we get to 10 o'clock. 17 minutes left. All right, interested if pops start to fail here. If they reclaim PDC, no. But if these pops start to fail and we create more liquidity for a bear flag, potentially. If they're going to drive back upside, you need to be careful of this move here. If they keep failing here, this move here is possible. Maybe counter trend shorts today will be scalps only, unless it really starts to let go. Nothing to say yet that this market wants to let go at all. Bids on the tape down at 375 right now. $10 and $15. No. What do you mean? The flow zones? No. Never been 10 and 15. Morning, Sloth. All right, so here you go. Market trying to find a bid after closing that gap. We said shorts have been getting stuck all day. You would need to see pops fail. Well, all day, all week, I meant to say. You would need to see pops fail for this market to have any chance in rotating lower. Tesla going back for that back test of 48 now by the looks of it. Market's still a complete mixed bag here, folks. Total mixed bag here. You're seeing divergence on the tape. You are seeing the Mag 7 not in agreement. Some of them red, some of them green. It's going to make it very, very hard. You're also on an OPEX day. It's Friday. This is not going to be easy today. All right, not unless they start building a clear trend like yesterday. So if the bear flag starts to fail, you've got that 15-minute opening range now. We're inside it. We're not expanding one side or the other right now. We're just inside it. At trend line, the old trend line, underneath the VWAPs, if they start reclaiming that, there is a potential squeeze back upside. Yellow and red band. A graph between them. They're the same, mate. They're just, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. Move to this one if you want. Nothing's changed. Okay, back to VWAP, holding PDC. Gap been filled on the ETFs. Are they going to do the gap fill and now squeeze back upside? Very, very possible. Tesla at the 48s. Apple flat. Microsoft down 0.5%. Amazon down 0.13%. Meta down 1.17%. Google up 2.44%. Nvidia up 0.5%. Tesla up 1.73%. Complete mixed bag. Still inside the range. Still bouncing between these. These are the no trade zones, I would say, in between these right now. If you're a range trader, if you're an edge trader, maybe you can trade between these. For me, like we always talk about, I hate those plays. They're not something I enjoy at all. Hey, Jack, hope you're good. Market can very easily go both ways here today. Very, very easy. And it can also do nothing today. I also want you to be aware about that. The market can do absolutely nothing today and go sideways. It's also important to remember that sometimes. Sometimes we forget that. Back to VWAP. Stuck at flow zones and VWAP so far. ES rejecting flow zones. Finding a bid in front of PDC. If we do this all day, folks, I will be getting off early again. There's no way I'm sitting here for 3 hours to watch us just stay in a balanced range. So let's hope we move outside of it after 10 o'clock. Especially on an OPEX day. No, definitely not for the orb. Orb's just 9:30 for the first 15 minutes. I'm not interested in that wick before it. That wick up to 500 separate to the orb. Yeah, like we keep saying, Aaron, there's buyers down at 75. There's some small sellers up in front of 475, like 100-point range there. Nothing big on the book yet. There is some small selling up at 600 and 700. It's been there all week. Yes, back to VWAP again. Inside, right in the middle point of the opening range. We've done absolutely nothing here so far this morning in the first 20 odd minutes. Nothing's changed. Nothing's happening. This is the no trade zone between these for me. For you, if you're a buyer and you want to take that rotation and you like trading range, by all means. For me, that's a no trade. I hate those trades. I'd rather see some momentum come in the market. This market just feels like shorts are stuck. It just feels crowded, and it's felt crowded all week with everyone wanting the same thing, which is not happening. And the more everyone wants the same thing, the less likely that thing is to happen, right? If shorts constantly look for the rollover, they're going to constantly get stuck. Are there real buyers in the tape here? No, there aren't any real buyers in the tape here. Like, no one is stupid enough to be putting money on when we've moved 30% up in 3 weeks, right? No one's doing that. There is no one doing that. This is shorts getting themselves stuck. That's all this market is right now. Back to VWAP. Midpoint of the range continues. The chop fest continues. It's like Groundhog Day. All you have to do is look at the daily and think, what a shite market, right? Just look at the daily and go, really? You really want to trade that, do you? I don't. I want that, or that, or that, or that. I don't want to trade that. That is no thank you very much. It is. The 15. Here's your orb. What are you talking about? That's your opening candle. If you're talking about Ninja Trader, it's because Ninja Trader's stupid and for some reason counts the candle before. It's beyond me why Ninja Trader does that. It's beyond me. The way that someone else in chat can answer that, but the way it calculates open and closes of candles based on minutes is like off. They're the only company to do it. I've already messaged them saying it's the one thing you need to change. No one likes that. I don't know why they do it. Maybe someone else in chat can answer that. But yeah, if you look at opening closes of candles and the time, they're always off. See, if you look at this candle here, this is 9:28. If you look at that same candle on NinjaTrader, it will say 9:29. It's always been like that. It's always 1 minute different. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I'm with you, Richard. It's absolutely bizarre, but it's the same for NinjaTrader on all instruments. All right, right in the midpoint of range. I'm going to sound like a stuck and broken record. Flow zone's flat. VWAP's flat. Hanging around midpoint of range. Been like this 3 days. It's crap. This is what trading's like sometimes. Sit in your hands. Wait for it to show you the move. Don't be interested in trading nonsense. Let everyone else trade this crap. Wait till we get outside of it. VIX now closed its gap, so it had a push up to 1760, back to 1750s now. Not having a pump upside, so we can't really think about shorts until VIX starts to break through 1780 and above. Everything being absorbed so far. You've got 7 minutes. I'm going to get a refresh on coffee. Yeah, it can move again. All right. So it looks like they're trying to build that inverse head and shoulder again. Midpoint range. I'm not interested in taking this. Again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. You're a range trader. Maybe you're interested in this. I just don't like trading range. My stats trading range like this will be terrible. I don't even need to look at them. I know they're going to be terrible. Trading inside London, inside Asia, inside previous days. Ugh. Yuck, 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 yuck. 5 minutes till you get that newsprint here, folks. Basing around. No worries, Max. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I've never ever changed them. They've always been the same. Same with the algo lines. They're always the same. I'd love us to move out of this range so this like just looks less choppy. It just looks ugly to look at with everything stacked so tight as well. It just looks horrible. So we're just trapped between PDC and PDH right now. Or PDC and VWAP. We're not even at PDH, but SPY is attempting to get back through, and the ES, well, the ES is attempting to get through PDH. There's the SPY. Let me load this up. Yeah, SPY's already through it. So finding a bid around yesterday's consolidation on the SPY after failing pre-market lows. If it goes on a full reclaim, we go to pre-market highs on the SPY, which will be overnight highs on the ES. ES already at PDH. The chop continues, as does the divergence. As you can see, we are absolutely nowhere near previous day high right now on NQ, and the ES is all the way up here. All right, massive difference. Just to make it even harder for you, massive difference in this market right now. So 470 is on the book. Seller up there, seller at 450, tiny lot. At 50 lot up at 470. 50 lot at sort of 525. 50 lot at 600. 70 lot and just in front of 700. If the market gets going, if we have a trend day, if we can get through all the highs, maybe. It's a bit like yesterday though. Like yesterday, you would remember me saying, I don't trust the bullish move on the market all the time. Most of the Mag 7 is red. Explain to me how the market moved up like it did yesterday with the Mag 7 in a sell. But it did. And the moment it ripped everyone's faces off, it gave it all back. You know, it's just like things like that. They're the like red herrings that you need to look for, where you're like, that stinks. That shouldn't be possible. So that's someone having some fun running stops rather than genuine buying, I would say. So still sat on my hands. 2 minutes left on news. Once we get through the news, maybe we can get a move. Opening range on the day so far, just 81 points. That's all you've got so far. QQQ, a terrible trader right now, I would say, folks. NQ, not a nice trader the last few sessions, so just be careful. Don't ruin your Fridays. Plenty of time left. $30 seconds to this print, folks. I don't know if you're in positions, if some of you have been in anything, I would trim them massively. You're in 50-50 range here. It could do absolutely anything. Books cleared out here, folks. So everyone around this bid and offer is just left. It's completely empty. There you go. Be careful here. Be very, very careful here. ES came back right back to PDC, found a bid so far. I'm still waiting to see the actual consumer sentiment news. Still being absorbed. All right. So far, it's the same story. It's been the same story all week. Everything being absorbed, which is nuts when you look at the tape and you're like, where? Off what? But it is, which means it's probably shorts that are stuck. Okay, 1 year inflation. Prelim 7.3, forecast 6.5. That's not good. Michigan conditions prelim 57. That's not what I want to see. I want to see consumer sentiment. Still refreshing. Here we go. Expectations 46.5 versus 48.6. Sentiment 50.8 versus 53.4. 5 year inflation 4.7. All the inflation coming in hotter. Not great. Not great, but it doesn't matter what that print is. What matters is how we react to it. And so far, all you have to do is look at the ES and spiders and see that they're absorbing versus PDC. Everything's being absorbed right now. It's not really shaking the market too much, I would say. Not yet, anyway. literally came right down to previous day close on the ES and found a bid off that inflation news. You can see the tape much stronger on the spiders. It's been like that the last few days, I'd say. Seeing if there's any more reports here. Here we go. They've trapped the shorts again. They're looking for that squeeze out now. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Everything absorbed this week. They just want to go higher. There's clearly a reason for them to want to go higher. Probably they have a strike price on OPEX. Maybe it's 600 on SPY. I have no idea. But they're not interested in any deep pullback this week. They're just interested in trapping shorts so far. They have had no attempt to go lower this week. That's been had follow through. You have to respect that. You have to respect that. It doesn't matter what you think. You have to respect what the chart is showing you. Oh boy. I don't really want to sit here like this for another hour or 2 hours. We've not moved. We've literally not moved. This is terrible. I'm going to delete these, or at least these trend lines, because they're not really doing much. I'll leave that one in. What a day. What a morning of absolutely nothing. Previous day high here on the ES again. SPY already through its VWAPs. Apple now green, Google green, Nvidia green, Tesla green, but giving back a lot there. Meta red, Amazon red, Microsoft red. Chop continues. We're still inside the opening range. We're not even out of the opening range. We're hanging around the VWAPs. This is not looking like a good trade day here, folks, unfortunately. The clue was in the daily until we get outside the daily range. I tell you what, by consolidating the last 3 days, what they've done is allow that 5-day moving average to catch up. They failed to make a lower low across the market there on that new swipe. So a higher low there. If they start breaking out with a higher high, maybe they go for that squeeze. There's no inflation. Ignore Michigan. 7.3% inflation. Ignore it. No inflation. This is why Powell's saying, hey, I'm not doing anything. I actually agree with Trump. I actually think they need to start lowering rates. I actually am in total agreement with him. And I actually think how he's acted in the Middle East is, refreshing and honorable and nice. So anyone that thinks I just take the piss out of him and hate everything about him, that's just not true at all. It's the English way. We take the piss out of anyone. That's just how if you're my friend, I'm going to take the piss out of you. If I'm not taking the piss out of you, you should probably be worried. It's more likely I don't like you if I'm not taking the piss out of you. Right, there's a little clear out of the highs there. Still getting stuck. Still nothing's changing. Still got the seller at 470. Still now got a buyer at 390. Still in the middle of this dreadful range. Are they now going to sell back down to low of day? Maybe. Do they expand that? I don't know. I just don't know. I've got no read on this right now. Here comes PDC. If they start failing PDC and failing the opening range, maybe something more fun happens. This is where they've been absorbing all day. mm. How's my back feeling today? It's looser, but it's, I'm on drugs. But I was in agony last night, arguably worse last night after seeing someone. So he managed to knock my C3 back in. I've probably got a major disc problem in C4 because it just won't move. And we don't know about my shoulder. He did some tests on the shoulder just manually, and he thought it felt pretty good. They always say the same thing. Like it actually frustrates me, but every time I go and see someone, they'll be like, "Oh, you do bench press too much." I don't, dude. My back's so strong. They just assume it, and then they go and test the back, and they're like, "Oh, actually, your back's quite strong." Yeah, if you just listen to me, it's not that. It's like a bone on bone problem, and then they get into it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, your C3, C4's fucked, and your clavicle's out, and your first rib's floating." And yeah, funny that. But we'll see. I'm just hoping I don't have to go under the knife. But if they can get C4 back in, and it's not just like a fully bulging disc, I'll be happy. I was saying to my wife yesterday, I'm honestly quite happy to go down to Tijuana and get stem cell on it. Wherever Kurt Angle went, I forget the name of that place. I wouldn't mind going and getting them to sort my shoulder out. This is a breakthrough for me. FOMO stopped. Hey, Mike, let's go. Look, boom. Those are important things. Those are really, really important things. Knowing when to trade and when not to trade is probably half the battle. That and the psychology. That is basically psychology. When to trade, when not to trade. CPI. Thanks, Tyson. What? That's the name of the place in Tijuana. Yeah, that I want to go and get it fixed if that's nice. Yeah, a lot of jiu-jitsu guys go, don't they? What did he have for his shoulder? I know like Rogan had like rotator cuff issues. I know I think Kurt Angle was going up for his spine to be done for like the 5th time. The Bunker Boys. Yeah, we can change to that. I quite like that name. Yeah, the Bunker Boys. It sounds like. I'm not going to say what it sounds like. Oh, the chop continues. The chop continues. Just waiting here, folks. I'm really sorry. This is just the market we've got right now. We did say, especially pre-market, I think I talked about it here, and I definitely said it in Discord. Where did we talk about OPEX? Maybe it was earlier. I'm sure I talked about it. Here we go. As a reminder, it's OPEX. And that's why we've had shitty moves this week and lacked follow through. All right, this is what happens with OPEX. How many puts and how many calls can we burn? Remember, time. Time is how they burn them. If they don't move the market, they burn them. Right? If we just do this and this and this and this and this and this and this is why I hate options. You get time decay, you're in trouble. At least if you're futures trading and we just move like this, you just break even. With options, you're actually losing money. Not sure what he had done to his shoulder, going back down for his neck in June. He has the same stuff I had, except at every level in his C-spine, yeah. Mine was only 2 levels, but I need a disc replacement. Your C6, C7, you're a bit lower than me. Mine's 3, 4. 3, 4, like right up here. Which, when you consider the amount of time I played rugby for, I was playing men's rugby from the age of 14. You would never be allowed to do that right now. But back in the day, I was at London Irish as a kid. Before going to university, that's what I wanted to do as a career. I was desperate to make it pro as a rugby player. I was probably the only one out of my friendship group not to make it. All my friends turned pro. Most of them retired now. So the Evans brothers, Haskell, all those boys, all retired now. I didn't make it, and I'm probably the most crippled out of all of them. Although I did talk to James on the phone a few weeks ago, and he said he's in pain every day nowadays. What's the place called in Tijuana? Tyson just said it up above. CPI. It's called CPI. Okay, back down to the low side of the range. The chop fest continues. Looking to BPC 157. All right, I'll check that out. Thanks, Nick. Is that like an injectable supplement or what's the deal with that? Okay, back down to PDC here again in this market. Do they chop all the way back up now? Do they finally let it go? I have no idea. Like I said, this is just a chop fest. We're not even at PDC yet in the SPY in ES. If they start letting go today, it will be fun. If they don't let go, well, there's nothing we can really do. For me, at least, I'm not going to buy all the dips down here. It's just not what I'm interested in doing. Are we going to expand the opening range? Yeah, yoga might help. Well, my wife's one of the best yoga teachers in the world, and I still don't do it. She gets very annoyed with me for that. Yeah, I'd rather go for injection, Nick. Get it straight into the bloodstream. I'm going to write all these down, actually, while you're saying it. BPC 157 PRP. Yeah, I have a friend across the road who says PRP. Cortisone's the only one I don't want, because that's a steroid that masks rather than fixes. It's the only one I don't want. I don't want any of my nerves burned. I would kind of rather they fix the problem. I had a lot of friends who've had like cortisone issues. And CPI is the surgery, isn't it? Let me write that down. Thanks, everyone. Very helpful. Appreciate it. The guy was cool, though, that I went to see. I was a bit worried because I've never been to see someone in the States. But he's the... he looks after all the guys at UCLA football team. So he was used to seeing banged up shoulders. Need to hit that area that's injured. It destroyed my groin last summer. Very tricky location. Nice, man. And you feeling good now? Yeah, exactly. Dopamine. I've got a lot of friends who've had some issues with that. That's why I won't take it. Thanks, guys. Very kind of you to help. Well, I'll try and help you with trading, and you can try and help me fix my body. I did say to my wife yesterday, though, like I've been trying to get in great condition before I hit the big 4-0 in a few months, and this is definitely going to set me back. So maybe just a life lesson there. You're not 20 anymore, mate, so stop training like you're 20. It's impossible. Raphael, $1,500 from scalping the range. No other option today. Hey, like I said, for those traders who like playing range, you know, there are trades in here. We're protecting this and we're protecting this. You can do this and back and forth. If you like trading this to here, that's fantastic. It's just not my type of trade. But if that's you and you like it, this is a great market for you probably. Buy the lows, sell the highs. Buy the lows, sell the highs. You haven't got a lot of room to work with. You probably, I guess 50 points. You could do 50 points, rinse, repeat over and over and over again. Once we get out of this range, I'll be interested. If we don't get out of this range, this has got to be one of the worst starts we've had to a trading day this week. I think we had it. Was it Tuesday? What was the grind day? I think it was Tuesday. That was yesterday. I think it was Tuesday. Maybe it was Wednesday. This day is Wednesday. No. Or was it here? Was this a gap up? Yeah, Tuesday. It was sort of similar on Tuesday. We just did this nonsense until 20 past 10, and then we went. So we'll see. I'm trying to be patient. Tesla now. It's not too far away from going red right now. Push 350s. Probably a big sell price. Relative strength here. ES coming back up towards its previous day high. SPY already through it. QQQ, NQ nowhere near it. Like we said, the weakness in the Qs continues. All right, massive divergence. These are not days which are nice to trade when you see divergence like that. So far this morning, since the New York Open, ES has not been able to base above previous day high. If it starts doing that, maybe it can drag the market up with it. You just wonder. I'm sure there's a big strike price at 600 on SPY. Maybe some of you can tell me who are trading options. I'm sure up towards 600 that I'm sure there'll be a hell of a lot of volume up there. I'm just looking at the 5 minute and 15 minute and just thinking, no, thank you very much. I'm okay. Nina Danka. So ES now through previous day high. Can they base above here? It's got a minute 30. It's got longer than that. Yeah, minute 30 left on this 5 minute bar. Is it able to base above there? We're still inside the opening range here. Nothing's changed still. It's massive at 600. Yeah, I knew, absolutely knew it would be. But do you think they're going to drag it up there? Is that the aim? Are they like, we need to get up there? Have they got an incentive to get up there? VIX just basing around low of day right now. Market looking like it wants to put a bit of a squeeze in here, but a lot of this is going to depend on how ES acts at these previous day highs, whether this market can truly get going up here or not. Maybe those 50s on ES are probably key. 950s, get through that. You've got that data wick high. On NQ, that's going to have to get all the way back to 500 to get up there. It's a long way right now with a market that's a little bit weak. My inch trade is just frozen. Fantastic. New 5 minute bar here. So do they hold the pullback to previous day high on the ES or do they just let it go? And that's what I'd be asking right now. If they hold all pullbacks to previous day high, we'd probably try and break out of this range. If they don't, we go back inside the range and this would be a failed breakout of the range and, you know, same thing over and over again. Just a mixed bag on the mag. It just looks terrible out there. It looks terrible out there right now. So yes, back under previous day high. SPY can afford to trade further down. Previous day high is at the VWAP SPY. So you've got divergence in terms of placement as well. Alex, when it says buy on my screen, is that an entry you put? No, that's just based on the system. And I would ignore, that's just on the 1 minute. I'd ignore that unless we're in a trend. I'm not really looking at, don't really pay attention to those unless we're in trends. If we're in trends, maybe I'll pay more attention to it. So it looks like a failed break here if the ES can't hold this previous day high. If they hold previous day high, if the market wants to go upside, it can go together. But right now, it's showing no intention in finding a bid to go upside. So it just looks like another failed breakout. We're still in range. We're still inside the opening range. We're still inside the initial balance. We're still inside Globex. We're still inside previous day's action. This is still terrible, terrible, terrible action. If ES can find a bid and push out above previous day high and sustain a bid, maybe it can drag the market with it. But so far, the Qs have shown no willingness to go back towards previous day high. ES is currently above it. This is just terrible action to be looking at. I don't know how much longer I'm going to give this, folks. Not very much, I don't think. I don't think I'm willing to give this much more time here today to watch nothing happen. It is like watching paint dry. Boring. So fail break, back inside. ES took previous day high, back inside, back to VWAP, back in the middle of the chop. Nothing's changed. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Trump speaking, 10:50 again. What's he talking about now? Is that guy not tired of talking? He tweeted all last night and all this morning as well. We're going to announce the new more tariff deals next week. Okay, great. That's cool. Just announce them. Like, yeah. Yeah, Tyson. That's it. Amphetamines. Back to VWAP here. VIX finding a bid here as well. Like, there's no alignment. This is gross. Gross. There's a lot of maybes, isn't there? Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. All I know is what's in front of me is not tradable. If they're going to base and push here, they should be doing it. Yeah, it's not a thing I trust right now. There's probably some nasty candle coming out of nowhere as well at some point. Technically now, they're going to say you're above this and this is possible, but why isn't it doing it is my bigger question. Why is it not holding up here? Why is it coming back into here? Shouldn't be doing that. If it's going to hold, it should just be starting to try and expand out, and I'm not convinced at all from seeing how ES is acting around previous day high. And you've still got a mixed bag on the Max 7. Apple, Microsoft, Meta, all red still. Are they going to hold the VWAP here? Everything's still flat. Lower time frame algo, deep pullback, flow zones, both VWAPs. Everything flat, sideways, nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. This is, what did we say? Between these, no trade zones. Not unless it becomes very clear and obvious. ES is trying to go. Just QQQ cannot go with it. New high of day in the New York session on the ES. QQQ nowhere near it. Cannot participate. So weak. ES failing up there again. Can't even get to 50s right now. Part of me is like, do they want to go for that data wick high at 50? What's it, 504? But how are they going to get there if the market's not going to participate? You're going to need ES to get through the 50s. It just doesn't look very willing to do much right now. And I think the danger is of just a slam out of nowhere. But let's see. They're trying to base. Comes the 950 test on the ES. It's trying to build for that squeeze. It is trying to build for that squeeze. I just do not trust this market in this zone here. Not one bit do I trust this market in this zone at the value area high from yesterday. Point of control here as well from the current session. It's just really struggling to do a thing. Absolute slugfest. Yeah, failed again there, yes. Gross. Gross action here. Do they fail deep now is my wonder. Are they going to catch bulls deep and fail deep now? That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised to see a nasty candle coming soon. Might be coming. It might be coming. If they don't hold previous day high here on the ES, it might be coming. Through previous day high, back to VWAP on the ES is what I'm saying, man. I would find it very hard to trust this as a bull right now. If they've trapped enough bulls, we're going to go lower day very, very quickly. Watching this now if they're going to break down. Back to where we found bids all day. Not going to be early in this. Watching PDC here. Remember, we found bids all day here. If they want to reabsorb this, they will. They will just continue to chop. If we start letting go of the opening range, though, all right, if we start letting go of that opening range in the PDC, maybe they give a bigger move lower. But if they want to just absorb this, they go straight back upside again. They retest VWAP, they reclaim VWAP, they go back into the middle part of the range, blah, 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 blah. They're just going to continue to play games here until they have got enough of one side trapped. The only time, we won't do that is if it is literally just to burn options all day. If their aim is only to burn options all day and nothing else, then we're just going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But if we start breaking down here, there's a deeper trade. PDC here. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to be a bull up there. Just didn't look good. Maybe that's just many years at the desk. PDC here, watching now if they break. If they break this opening range, we can flush so hard. Absorbing same levels right now. I think there might be a bigger move coming here to the downside, folks. I think there might be a bigger move coming here to the downside. If they get through the opening range, I think it could get very nasty very quickly. It's coming. It's coming through PDC now. If they let go of this opening range, it's coming. The divergence was the clue there. VIX trying to find a bid, 1760s. It's definitely coming here, folks. These guys are about to get wrecked. So you range traders probably, I don't know, did you all take that short at the tops? Because you should be fading the tops, is what I'm saying. It should have held and it didn't held. And that was just a bit of a sign there, I would say. Go on, go and break it. Just do a nasty snap before Trump gets on, ideally. ES can still hold here as well. Look where ES is based on a pivot. Back to the lower point of the range. Do they absorb this again? My bias now is probably that they start letting go. If pops start to fail, you'll get a deeper drive down. You would need pops failing. The hardest thing right now is ES has made another higher low, which is the divergence. But it has made a higher low on ES. You would need that to fail. You will need that to fail. You will want ES to fail VWAP, basically. That's what you will need to see. You want to drive up here and sellers to come in and make a lower high. Lower high? No. A lower, yeah, a lower high followed by a lower low. God, my brain's not working. SPY still holding PDC for now. All right, SPY is holding PDC. There is divergence across every single level right now, both ETFs versus futures and between the SPY and QQQ and the NQ and the ES. Lots of divergence. I'd be looking for a drive up here to fail and then a snap and a wash. You don't want to attack the lows really because you're in a range, right? We're into that blue box. You're not really looking to attack the lows. So ideally, you want to drive up and a fail. And then if we start failing, where can we go? Well, here is a pivot. I would say here, 350s. Where else? All the way down to 250s is possible if they're really going to let it go. So starting to see that. Nice on nice. Here we go. Thank you. Right, can we expand this range now? Yes, it's previous day open. Let's try and expand through previous day open. Don't want to get stuck here. Trying to let this work now. If we're going to do a deeper move and we can go and attack Globex, I'd like to see this work now. Don't want to see it trade back inside. If we trade back inside, I'm not going to hold on to it, because if ES will not break the initial balance low and PDC, then we have major divergence on the tape and they're going to save it. All right, so if this starts trading back inside PDC, I'm not interested in the slightest. It's not ideal location for the short, but if they want to keep saving SPY and ES, it's going to make it very, very hard. Remember, we've now taken low-hanging fruit. So far, so good. Beautiful. How much more can we expand? Come on, give me a big kill candle. ES coming into PDC here. They keep saving ES. That's the biggest problem right now. The divergence between the ES and the NQ, or the SPY and the QQQ, however you want to look at it. That's your issue right now. I want to lean short into this, but not if they keep saving it. Nice, Tyson, just see that now. Nice, nice, nice. So we're under IB lows. If we reclaim IB, remember, you can have a failed auction theory. ES is not underneath IB lows. It's not even underneath previous day close. All right, so that is your divergence in the tape. You have to be aware of it. Nice, expanding lower here. Want watching to see if we can get down to Globex, those 350s, and then if we can get under it. H1 now coming into key levels. If H1 starts expanding lower, we can look for a move to 300s. If we get through 350s, we're looking for a move to 300s. If we can get under there, possibly to 188 if we're going full risk off on a Friday. All right. I'm telling you, ES does not want to let go of previous day close. VIX is finding a bid. Like, everything's looking good apart from the ES. Yeah, Nvidia gone red now. Well, it's at close price. I'm telling you, ES is the issue here. Without a shadow of a doubt, ES here is the issue. Be very careful if you get a failed break here versus the failed auction versus initial balance, all right? Please be careful of that move. Yeah, exactly, Douglas. Yeah, I play the cash. PDC for me is that cash. So you can see it. If you look at the 4 o'clock Eastern on the ES, we dipped down under it, sort of 9.42 or something this morning. Found a bid there, came back on that news candle, bid right off it to the penny. We've come back down towards it now, and we're bidding in front of it right now. It's an important level, all right, because all the cash players, it's where they closed their position yesterday. Here comes the battle. All right, so you should have been taking some partials in these moves, folks, because here comes the battle. And if they start reclaiming, the squeeze can potentially be on all the way back upside if it really wants. While my bias right now with momentum is short side, if ES does not participate, you got to be careful. So far, we just retested the initial balance and we found sells. That's what you want to see continue to happen. You want bear flag here continue to happen with sells down. You want ES to come and take out PDC and IB low. Now looking a bit better. Come on, ES, you need to get going lower here. We're going to have some fun today for, a 100-odd point mover. We're going to need you to sell off. If they just protect these lows at the bottom side of the range, it will be a problem. You can see this blue level here, very, very key. Down into this, I've probably mispriced it by a tiny bit. Right here. And we can do a little line for targets. Let me do some targets. Let's do these as white. That's where we want to try and get into. Starting to sell. Come on, ES. There we go, ES. Thank you for participating finally. All right, PDC here, looking for IB low to get taken on the ES. Holding this now. I'd love to get down to 300 and under. I'd really like to do that. Ideally before Trump starts talking. Ideally before Trump starts talking. ES bidding off PDC again. Come on. Oh my God. It's going to make our job impossible here if it keeps doing this. If it will not let go of PDC and IB low, we will never get to 300. It's got to start letting go. Jack, don't tell me what to do. I will talk when I want to talk because the world listens. Did anyone see him talking about when he was asked in Air Force One what he thought about the new head of Syria? Did anyone see that? That had me and my wife in pieces. He was asked, what do you think of the new head of Syria? Most people would be like, he's an intelligent man, or like, I look forward to doing business with him, or I think we can get good things done. His first answer was, he's a good-looking guy. You're not trying to date him, mate. He's a good-looking guy, strong guy, tough guy. cracked me up. It really cracked me up. I was like, come on, dude. All right, IB low here on the ES. Can we wash it? Take a partial here if you need. We're looking for that wash down, though. We're looking for Globex here into 50s or 48s. And if we can get through that, we're looking for 300s. Starting to look a little bit better here. Just want the ES to auction lower here. Give us that absolute smash. Looking good. We had to wait for it today. We had to be so patient. Too patient. ES trying to reclaim. Don't want it to see it reclaim initial balance. Here's Globex. You've got to take a partial into this, folks. You have to. Because if ES reclaims, it's going to be nasty. So we're into Globex here. 48 is Globex, is the Globex print. Underneath that, we can wash those stops. We're going to look for 300s. All right, underneath that, we're looking for 300s. It's just funny. Just funny. All right, protecting Globex so far. Make sure you're paying yourself. If we get under this, we've got a deeper wash. Remember, this is where we found a bid on QQQ yesterday. All right, lovely. There's Globex taken. So TP1 there. Next level down, we're looking for these now if we can keep going. It's required a little bit of patience today, didn't it? A little bit. It required a lot of patience today, but we're now outside the opening range. If we go back to the new indicator, which I'm trying to get fixed, you can see we're outside the opening range right here. Made it a little bit easier. The sell signal, retest of initial balance, failing opening range, down into Globex's orange lines. If we keep selling now, we're going to just go leg down. Look at the H1. This is what I want to see. Expansion. So I want all pullbacks to fail now. If we're going trend day lower, we want all pullbacks to just get absolutely hammered. Here we go. Can we get to 300s is the question, really. VIX now starting to go through previous day low, through previous day close. Now we're starting to see alignment. Now, finally. Finally, market. You are extended here from flow zone, so no new shorts, please. You should be holding on. Let's go. Let's get down to 300s. These are where I'm aiming for. Let's get downtown. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Beautiful. Okay, be careful here. This is where QQQ found a bid yesterday. That pullback yesterday in the afternoon, this is where we've gone back to, just to the lower side of that range. All right, if you look at yesterday's price action, this is where we found a bid. You got that afternoon sell-off, and before the close, we found a bid here. So pay yourself a bit here. We expect some form of response here because buyers showed up here yesterday. If you're like, what is he talking about? Just look left. Right here. This is where we found buyers yesterday. This was the range, broke out, pullback, held. This can be potential demand. We get under this, we go next leg. All right, respect the levels. I'm going to delete this now. Well under it. So buyers there, again, present from the same level as yesterday. ES already reclaiming initial balance, folks, and it's going to test PDC here. Big levels coming up, all right? Whether what they do next is important. What they do next is important. On the M1, M2, that's a pretty big response on the ES so far. What they do next is important. Can we break down here? I'd love to get to 300s and below. That would make me very happy. Even down to 230s and under would be amazing. I don't think it's out the question. It just depends what they're going to do with this market. Are they going to do this today or another day? Bids on the tape here. 325, 300s. Need pops to fail. You need drives up to build more liquidity. All right, we need to build out sort of bear flags. Liquidity needs to be built out in this way for a failure. If you're wondering what this is, it's the higher time frame algorithm. All right, so while we've gone into higher time frame chop because we're trading between lower time frame, higher time frame. We get outside of this, we can trend down, especially if this starts catching up next week. So ES already reclaiming IB high. Trump talking in 3 minutes. Is that right, folks? Someone said you had him talking soon. Beautiful trade, though. Beautiful trade, sticking to the system, waiting for them to build the liquidity and then taking it. I told you, I did not like the long up here. All right. Even though it looked good, I was like, I don't like what I'm seeing. So do we get a response? How far do they drive up now? And what do we do next is important. I'm just going to take these weekly levels off because I've realized what the bug is, but it's not been fixed yet. So give me a second. It should look a bit cleaner once I do that. There we go. Okay, so back towards flow zones. Initial balance up here. Opening range is above it. ES back towards PDC here. So a response off that same buying level yesterday. All right, the same buying level yesterday where we found bids yesterday afternoon, where we found bids in London. Same levels. We're buying off it. Still in a range technically. That low from yesterday afternoon low was 305. We've protected it so far. We've washed Globex. We're trading back upside now. I want to find a way of selling into this if they're going to go for expansion lower. But can someone tell me when Trump's talking and what he's talking about? Because I can't find it anywhere. Nice reaction off PDC here. Someone said he's talking. I cannot see it anywhere, folks, so not sure. Maybe a two-leg pullback. What you would need to be careful of now is a reprice up here and through this. Your IB and PDC can offer a squeeze. That would be a failed auction if we reclaim this. Remember, we took out some low-hanging fruit, which was Globex right here. So the trade from here to here. See how we act when we get into the IB, which is 50. Trump in 1 minute. Yeah, everyone keeps saying that. Can someone tell me where he's talking and what he's talking about? Because I can't see it scheduled and I can't find it. Back to VWAP and PDC we're going. Bowden, yeah, exactly. All right, so it looks like a failed auction on the ES. It's going to trade back up towards the VWAP by the looks of it on the ES and the spiders. Do they sell into that VWAP where we just sort of broke down from, or do they just keep repricing? Are we going all the way back to highs? These are still options right now, given what we're seeing. All these things are possible. Nothing's really changed. We are reacting at least to initial balance on the Qs, but you got VWAP just above that and PDC just above that. Really, you'd normally like to see a pullback get sold into. This is where we broke down from. If you think about looking left, this is where they're absorbing from. You'd want to see them sell back into these levels. If they reclaim this and don't sell into these levels, then bulls will probably take control. What worries me is it's not a two leg, it's a straight pullback right now. Straight up. Looking at the tape, not much above to aim for. Do they protect this? Do they protect this level? What I don't like is the look of ES more than anything. Again, it's just been like that all day. VIX failing after taking out its PDC and PDL as well. So low hanging fruit taken and failing. Maybe that's the only move we get today, folks. At least it was a good move, though. Those of you who took the VWAP fail did very well. I got in a bit later. I was in from 400s. I don't mind reattacking this if it proves itself for me, but I'm not going to front side this. Momentum right now has drifted up, or it's been fairly aggressive pricing up, to be honest. I want to see how we act in and around where we are now, if we find selling continuation or not. Definitely initial balance is holding up for now. But if they reclaim, man, this could squeeze. They've only done one leg up. Normally you'd want to see two legs and a failure. I want to see ES get back down beneath PDC and PDC and IBL, sorry. God, get your words out, mate. Yeah, it could be Raphael, but like I said, I normally like to see two legs, and I'm not shorting into the first move. All right. Ideally, what you want to see is this. So buyers have two attempts to try, and then we can come and rotate. All right. The danger right here is if you're looking at the ES, it's already priced. Right. If it's going to drag the market up, the big problem right now is ES is already priced up here and has the ability to do that. If we start to roll here, then I'm interested. But right now, it's a little bit early. We are into the flow zones. We are protecting the initial balance, but so far we've got upside momentum, and the ES is showing me it wants to be very, very strong after a failed auction. All right, ES is already showing a failed auction. So many of you do not look at enough charts. You look at a 1 minute chart and make a decision off that on the NQ. You cannot trade off a 1 minute chart and a 1 minute chart only. It will get you hurt. Look at the wick on an H1, for example. Huge wick after sweeping liquidity. Huge. Got to be careful. We're in a range. If this is a failed breakout of the low side of the range, where do you think we're going? So saying things like, it could be the pullback to go lower. It could be a failed auction to go higher. We have to trade what's in front of us. ES back to VWAP here. SPY back to VWAP here. QQQ and NQ have now reclaimed IB lows. What is that? Failed auction underneath. Can't be shorting this right now. Retest of 400, retest of PDC. Can squeeze up to VWAP now. If they reclaim that, guess who's trapped? Shorts. Guess who's been trapped all week? Shorts. Guess where we go? Highs. Can I expand on the H1 wick? Yep. Well, think about the time right now. Coming into a new H1 bar, you got 5 minutes left. This H1 has drifted all the way down. Where are we closing? All the way up here. So buyers have taken control here because this is showing you buying strength. We've come down there and we're closing back up here, aren't we? Right. So anyone in here who's short is currently underwater. Right. This was the level to come and take. We took it. Is it rejecting it? No. We're closing back inside right now. How we close in this H1 will be important. You've got 4 minutes left or 3.5 minutes left. Remember, overall trend right now is bullish. We were in bullish consolidation. I'm not seeing any Trump talk, by the way. Nothing. ES about to push through VWAP by the looks of it right now. It's a big reclaim, failed auction underneath initial balance, basing at VWAP. If it gets going here, a bigger squeeze in this market can happen. Look at the VIX, died, absolutely died after getting through PDL and PDC. If it can't find a bid here and keeps going back down to low of day, the market will keep squeezing. So big and ifs and ors right now. Just saying. Told you. I told you, you cannot just force your way in. How many people went, oh, this is the pullback leg. Oh, I'm going to short. I'm just going to keep shorting against the momentum and are now stuck. Why do you think we're up here? Because you fucking idiots keep trying to short down here. It's the same the last few days. If you do not respect the levels, you will get trapped. If you are entering short here, which is clearly what a huge amount of this market has just done, these fucking idiot shorts just got themselves trapped. And now they're going to make our job way harder because they refuse to respect the levels. And you got divergence versus ES. Unfortunately, we have to wait for this now, all right, because of these guys. It's just what happens. Hopefully, we can get some continuation downside, all right? And these guys don't get in our way because they will become buyers when we get down there now. Hopefully, they get out our way and we get continuation downside. But let's see. Let's see if this market will play ball for us. The hardest thing right now is going to be the ES. It is these fucking idiot shorts all week making our job impossible. We can't get a good pullback to get long in because they keep getting caught. And we can't get a short to play because they keep getting caught. They're a pain in the butt, these shorts this week. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can get some continuation. Looks like second leg potentially starting to finish here, but we'll need to see that sort of micro head and shoulders play out. Otherwise, we can't play it. All right, we can't play it. We can't guess. All right, we'll need to see a series of lower highs and lower lows for a rotation. Otherwise, the problem is these shorts are stuck here, which is higher time frame demand, right? So if they start covering here, we're going to go back upside. They make it a pain in the butt because they never learn. Me and Coop talk about it all the time. They never, ever, ever seem to learn. The market is, to be honest, the whole stock market is based on shorts not learning. Failed breakdown of lows is how the stock market moves up. You can see it all week long. All week long. That's why we've moved the way we've moved. ES just created a higher low. In front of PDC. Inside of initial balance. So if you're not watching, you're zoomed into your M1 on your NQ, you're probably getting smacked. Failed auction. All right. This is ES. There's your IB. Failed auction. How many of you are front running this short side because you're like, oh, it has to be a pullback leg to get short? You're in a range. You're not in a trend market. Momentum right now, lower time frame, is trying to go upside. It's not trying to go downside yet. So if you're desperate for a new short, you gotta wait. Because if you attack the front side of it, you're gonna get squeezed. You had your easy money, folks. It went to Globex lows. Like I kept saying, you have to take some money off the table. Once it reclaimed the initial balance, you should not be thinking short at that point because you have a failed auction. Don't know how many times I have to go over these things in chat. Those of you try and fight with me, do the course. Otherwise, by all means, lose money. Go for it. Fight with me. You know, these are not my rules. These are rules of the market. ES to VWAP. Building out liquidity. It's producing higher lows. It has a huge wick. We are in a new H1 bar. We are at value area low and point of control of the session right here. These are big levels. It will make a decision here. If it reacts here to go lower, we'll start seeing lower highs and lower lows. If we don't react here to go lower, we are going to start reclaiming, and we're probably going to trade all the way up to 450s. And if we get up there, we might as well go and sweep those highs at 456 and break out of the high side. All right, so that is just what you have right now. Let's see. I would love to see a rotation lower, but I'm not going to get front side on it. If it does not want to do it, it will not do it. I will respect it. We can start to fail. I'm interested. Here's initial balance. We'll need to see big failures, lower highs and lower lows, and momentum. Not a dance. I want to see clear momentum. And I want to see ES participate as well. The ES right now is just dancing between PDC and VWAP, and it can keep dancing there. It's true though, guys. Why do you think the market always goes up? Okay, first of all, it's rebalanced. All right. Understand how a market goes up. It's constantly rebalanced. So that means the weakest stock gets booted out and replaced with a stock performing well. Therefore, the ETF is always going to go up. Long term, it's always going to go up. Secondly, they make sure, the market makers make sure that failed breakdowns are absorbed. All right, just like you've seen so far this week. That failed breakdown was it Wednesday morning, maybe in London, absorbed to go upside. Those are your signatures that we go upside. It's failed breakdowns in the market. Those are always the signatures. All right, so who's stuck? Shorts. Shorts get stuck in the market. Calls will make way more money than puts in the stock market. Bulls will make way more money than bears in the stock market. Bears need to be right and with size and have way less time in the market. All right, so when you think about bears that make a lot of money, they're sized in, they're correct, but they have like a short window to make money. Bulls have a huge window to make money because 80% of the time, the stock market will go up. Even in bear markets, they don't last that long. Even if you want to look at a 50-year period, bear markets do not last very long. All right, can we get this breakdown now? This sort of head and shoulder kind of look. This is what I'm saying. We've sort of done two legs now, finally. One leg, two legs. It will need to start failing for me to be even vaguely interested. If it just keeps soaking here, I want to be careful of that move, especially, like I keep repeating myself, with ES. The strength that ES is showing today. But if we're going to go and attack, I'm going to be interested and I'm going to look for a move to 300 and then 250. So I want to see it show momentum. It's starting to try and do it, but ES is still not participating. So even this here is divergence. This wick here, ES is printing up here. It's producing a higher low on ES. We are not in unison here. Watching the tape here, they keep trying to absorb 75s. It's definitely a big level. They keep trying to absorb 75s here. I don't think we're really bearish until we get well under that. I think they can keep absorbing it and trying to force a squeeze. This can build a higher low. It can absolutely build liquidity here for this move. This is why this level here is key. How we act around here is key. Not looking to be early here. The momentum for me, lower time frame. Right now with the ES especially, it's saying upside squeeze. That's what it's saying. There you go. And VIX is printing back down towards its lows, all right? It's going to try and fill this gap into 1753s here on the VIX. And there you go. They held that level. And look at the ES through the VWAP. Now it goes, making things hard. We're still inside initial balance and inside opening range. If you do not see a harsh rejection of this back down towards the lows, there are no shorts. All right, if they're going to hold inside the opening range, you're in. Look at the first hour of trading where you were. It's exactly where you are now. Why are the bulls from that first hour of trading not becoming sellers here? That's what you have to start asking yourself. Then look at the ES and then think, duh. Maybe that's why. Because they don't need to be. Man, it gets like so tiring sometimes. Do not be first to the party, all right? And be happy with what you got. You got a killer trade there this morning after waiting all day. You don't need to force much more than that. And what are all these emails I'm getting about Quant Trader and Project X? Quant Tower is now available with Project X. From TickTick. What is this? Let them build liquidity here, folks. Just let them build it out. 50 minutes left. So far, rejecting point of control. If we can start to wash here, I'm interested. But you better be careful if they start catching this on ES. Like I said, I think those 75s have been like absolutely key. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks down there. Yeah, 5 wicks down there where they keep absorbing it. You'll need these buyers not just to be liquidated, because you don't want to see this. You will need this. Not going to be early. Be late. Let them liquidate them. Let it prove. You do not want to see absorption once they get liquidated. They're starting to be liquidated here. They're stacking up here. This is what you don't want to see. Exactly what I said you don't want to see if you're thinking short. This is why I'm saying it's a sensitive area. They liquidated them, turned inside. Guess where the divergence is? Have a guess. Guess who's still making higher lows and higher highs? Your little twin partner over on the spiders. All right, so these are not going to be smooth like trading sessions when you see that. When you see that, you know it's going to be hard. You better know it's going to be hard if the market is not in unison. Have a look at the Mag 7 right now. Tesla, green. Google, green. Nvidia, just about red. Meta, 2% red. Amazon, trying to go red to green. Microsoft, red. Apple, red. Mixed bag. Nice, Ash. Good work. Yeah, Euro close. Thank you, DK. Always with the reminder. And there goes the high on ES again. So they liquidated, trapped, and we're going upside right now on the Qs because they've just trapped bears who are trying to take that breakdown short before it's ready. Like I said, it has to prove. It has to prove. All this has done is made bears go, oh, I'm going to come in for this move here, and then just trap them and gone upside. And this here is now where they want to go. They want to come and try and liquidate all of these guys here. And who's dragging this market up? This guy here. Can you see a breakdown here? Because I can't. Here we go. Squeeze is potentially on here. Squeeze is potentially on here for this market. Nice, Bowden. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. That's all you got to do. Just learn your lessons, you know. If you learn your lessons, then each day gets better. That's all you have to do. Can't be making the same mistake 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 100 times, which is what traders seem to do. They like to come up with, you know, these biases in their head and then get fixated on it. It's fine to have an idea, like if the market, but it needs to be an if statement. If the market does this, and if I see this, then I will do this. If it doesn't do this, I will not do this. I will do this. If you're like, when it does this, I think it's going to do this, and I'm doing this. Well, market don't care what you think. You know, market does not care what you think, and that's why the market moves, because too many people get rigid. Don't be like Tyson. You're doing fine, Tyson. All right. Nvidia now gone green. Tesla back to the towards the 48s probably. Building out that liquidity here again. ES back to VWAP. All right, squeeze through. If ES finds a bid at VWAP, we go back towards the initial balance high. It's just an IB rotation. If it can't hold VWAP and it starts to fail, you'll need to see a bunch of lower lows and lower highs for a full rotation back down to the lows. But here is your VWAP on the ES right here, right now. You have, like, I can't explain the divergence between the two. It's so clear and obvious. Just put two screens up, put SPY on one, QQQ on the other, put it on a 5 minute, you see what I mean. It's so obvious, the divergence. So you are in a market which is not in agreement. It's gonna make it hard. You are in OPEX. It's gonna make it hard. The market are not designed to make your life easy. They're designed to make your life very, very hard. Remember, you're playing against the best players in the world right now. All right, we are not the best players in the world. We are definitely not the best players in the world. You have to know that. Best players in the world, they're using algorithms and they're at banks. They are there to take your money. They want your lunch money. So ES holding VWAP right now. Unless you see that starting to fail VWAP and starting to break to make head and shoulders on like a lower time frame, then this thing can just keep drifting all the way back towards the highs. Okay, because we've gone from IB high to VWAP, from VWAP to IB low, underneath IB low, failed auction, from IB low now back to VWAP, from VWAP, where can it go? Back to IB high. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just please do yourself a favor and just do the course. Just do the course. You got to understand failed auctions and auctions. Right now, we're building for a squeeze higher. You can see this market wants to build for a squeeze higher. Whether it's sustained or not is a whole nother question. But that's what the market's trying to build for at the moment. ES with the strength to do it. NQ, I don't know if it's got the strength to do it, but it's what it's trying to do. Failing out on ES again on that last push. Are they going to rotate now? Back to view up again. Like, I genuinely have no idea what this market wants at the moment. Air Force One on the tarmac. What? So is he going to start talking? Is that what you mean? Feels like they're setting for the squeeze, but like the ES looks much better than the NQ, and it still looks very, very ugly to me. Like, I wouldn't want to be long in here, and I'm not ready to get short in here. So that's where my head would be. under VWAP now on the ES. Do they trap under here to go higher? Or do they let this go back down towards that pivot? Remember, 75s is basically your massive pivot right now. They let go and stay heavy under it, there's potential for a wash. If they don't let go, or they do what they did before, then it just builds liquidity out to go higher. That's all it's doing. That's all it's doing. Yeah, I mean, it is. But like, we should, with all these bulls here, you would want to see this reaction here, and it's not happening. It is not happening right now. This is just building liquidity. You've just got to wait. You have to wait, unfortunately. It's just how it is. We've been here so long, it's trying to print a buy signal now, which is like crazy, but that's what it's trying to do. I would, like, don't get me wrong, I would much rather see a short here. Like, way prefer to see a short here all the way back down to 300s. I just think we've got to be a little bit patient here. I don't think, like, you're necessarily wrong, Raphael, but until the market wants to go lower, you can't trade it lower. I spy it. Reclaim VWAP again. ES reclaiming VWAP again. Think about how many people are trapped here since basically in the last 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. Think about how many people are in here. Lots of people. We will destroy these people at some point. Someone is going to get hurt at some point. I like playing it when someone's getting hurt and after they're getting hurt, not before. What's Trump going to say? Get off the plane and say, we had a great meeting. Goes upside for no reason. Probably. Probably exactly what's going to happen. How many times? Let's have a bet. How many times does Trump say the word billions in the next in the next press conference? I'm going to say 7 times. Yeah, he hasn't started yet. Someone just said he just landed. I mean, he's late. I don't think the market's waiting for him, though. It's not a big press conference. Billions. He loves that word. There's nothing happening, folks. We are just stagnant at the moment. Market's literally gone to sleep on a Friday. 40 minutes left until lunch. We've made a little bit of money on that short move down. At the moment, would I love to see continuation lower? I would love it. Do I think it's going to come? I really don't know here, team. I would absolutely love to see this continue lower. Here's the test coming. Does the ES want to break its trend? Are we going to see this market start to participate a little bit? It would be lovely, wouldn't it? It would be lovely. Back down to where we found bids so far. You can just see all these wicks down here. You need all these buyers to become sellers. If they don't become sellers, then you're just going to keep trapping. And ES is just an absolute beast today. It's just being a pain in the butt. Relative strength. We talked about it right at the open. QQQ was under PDH. SPY was over PDH. There's your divergence. Straight away, as soon as you see that, you know this is going to be a shit day to trade. It's going to be very hard. Then you look at the daily and you go, oh, we're inside bars of the last 3 days. Okay, going to be hard to trade. See money, take money. I feel once plane is in the air and the pilot switch seatbelt off and a short NAP. NAP? What's NAP? He will talk. Don't forget UAE heat is on. All right, ES coming back down to that key level again. We still not quite got there. These 80s, 75s and 80s starting to let go a little bit now. Watching the ES closely. If it's going to set up something for us to join here for a deeper move. If you're going to take this short, you must respect where we found a bid from before for a partial, okay? Just want to say that now. If you're going to take this short, you must respect where we found a bid from on the last leg down. We know there are buyers here. Definitely did not just do that. We know there are buyers here. And we know there's their pivot on this white line here. Okay, so you must respect that. Want to see momentum come in. Don't want to see it just dance around. You can see sensitive area here. Instantly absorbed. That's what I mean. What a shit market. I mean, no follow through for like two or 3 days now. Like we should be wanting to go lower and we're not. And like you got to have that in your head. Should want to go lower, not going lower. Should want to go lower, not going lower. Should do this, isn't doing this. Should react to those trap buyers, isn't really reacting to the trap buyers. Not yet. Like I don't call like a 15-point move a reaction. Not in the NQ. VIX trying to get going here, but struggling. We're just in a chop fest range here again. You can see it's just time decay on the options chain. They're just chopping around here again. They're protecting yesterday's demand level. We swept liquidity, remember. We took the low hanging fruit. We've already swept them out. If this next push does not fail on ES at VWAP, I think then the shorts are trapped again. You would need this next push into VWAP to get sold into. If they don't do that, then I would expect everyone got trapped again early to that move. Like I said, never let go of 75 with momentum. If it doesn't do that, we're building liquidity. This can be an inverse right shoulder. It can be very, very nasty. You can get yourself stuck. Range rotation. We're not in a trend, we're in range rotation. Not bad on ES. No follow through downside though. Yeah, Bowden, but look at the previous hour on the H1. And you still got a long time left on this H1 to build. Previous hour expanded lower, came straight back into range, right, on the H1. So buyers are in control from down there right now. And unless we liquidate those buyers from the last 2-3 sessions, we have to respect that they're in control. Here goes ES to VWAP. VIX failing there. I think we exhaust shorts, and then next week, when everyone's had enough, we give a pullback, and probably not before then. I think it just exhausts them all looking for the move. I think everyone's looking for the same move. It's not going to come when everyone's looking for the same move. That's why they keep trapping, because they're all crowded looking for that same move. Oh yeah, totally. With that last hour and then this current hour, it doesn't. We're at the like low end of value area low on the day, and point of controls down here. So all the volume's down here now on the day. So if we get over this volume, they take complete control for a squeeze upside. VWAP again here on the ES. Back to the top side of this sort of, I don't know what you call it, like a 30-minute range here. Lack of edge. Lack of edge. Potentially building out that inverse right shoulder for a squeeze here. But we're right into where those buyers got stuck this morning. But this is what I mean. On a back test of this, you would want to see failures. You're not seeing failures. You're seeing a build of liquidity. That, for me, is dangerous. Very dangerous. Exactly, Raphael. It's just built and built and built. You have to wait. Like when you see stuff like this, just wait. No, just know this is your no trade. And if we do this, there's a trade. If we do this, there's a trade. If we do this, there's maybe a trade. If we do this, there's maybe a trade. Don't get chopped up in here, guys. Don't do it. Let everyone else do that. What's the direction of this market since 1050? It's sideways in a 30-point range or 20-point range. 400, 405, basically down to 75. Okay, 30, 40-point range. Not much. Not much for NQ. Nvidia back to flat on the day here. Feels like it wants to squeeze up towards VWAP, and then if it gets through there, high of days, that's sort of what it feels like it wants to do. But you know, you're at that supply. There you go. Trapped all those guys. There's the squeeze, and now breaking out. I'm in this long, small size. See if we can get up to VWAP. If we get through VWAP, we're going to go high of day probably. So let's see if 400s, 420s, there's an offer on the book at 420. Want to get through him and just go straight squeeze upside, please. Let's go straight upside is VWAP, partial into this. Still holding, so I took the breakout. Don't want a pullback here, need it to hold. That's why I locked in a partial into VWAP. Nice. Okay, see if they hold this RBS now. If they don't hold the RBS, not interested. Because then this can be a failed breakout, back in range, and then we use the liquidity to go lower. So it needs to hold this level now to go higher. If it doesn't, and we come back in here, this is where it can use this liquidity to go lower. All right, so I was breakout long for this move to here, watching the ES and the VIX gave me the confidence to do it. Now just waiting. Like I said, just wait for one side to be abused. There was the breakout, abuse. There's the signal here. If we can go higher here, if we absorb this pullback, like I just said, there's a chance to go back towards high of day. If they fail under this, then no longs for me. If they fail under there, there's no new longs for me. This can be like the second leg to go lower if it wants. Nice, Tyson. So just watch, because ES is back to previous day high here. So these are big levels. You'd need all the market to start participating here. Meta's not going to participate, but Amazon's trying. It's trying to go. It's trying to go. Here's VWAP. Watch QQQ into its VWAP as well here, folks. If you're trading the NQ, you need to be aware of that. Again, if they fail here and they don't hold the RBS, then this will just be like a stop run and we go lower afterwards. We hold the RBS, I think there's a chance to get back up to the initial balance high. Definitely up to 50s, 450, 456, and then 470, and then maybe that data print at 504 would be lovely. Here we go. Starting to squeeze now. Fuck yeah, let's go, baby. This is why I play momentum, and it's why I don't guess levels. Hopefully, me ranting on this morning has made you understand. You wait for people to be trapped, and you play it once we start exploring their stops. You do not guess before that point. It's literally it's so much easier to let everyone else pay and get trapped, and you can just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And if you're patient enough, you will get easy money trades. Low time frame algo tag there. ES trying to build on PDH now. We're looking good here. I think there's a good chance of a squeeze back to higher day here. Tesla reclaiming that 348. If Tesla wants to go through 350, we get a game on here. Again, we need those RBS levels to hold. Right? You need this level here to be holding. This is key level here. 400s, 405s, this is your key level. Needs to hold this for this. Failure under that, probably more favor shorts down into here at that point. How much easier was it if you just waited? If you didn't guess? How much pain were you in if you went short, 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 add, pray, 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 ouch. Right, this is why I say, don't fight it. Kept saying, do not fight it. This is why we went up, because everyone kept guessing and fighting it, all right? How many shorts piled in down here? How many went add? Where's their pain point? Here. What did this do? Stop run. What was the trade? Long, bang, make some money. If we hold, long, bang, make some money. It is easy if you can get out your own head here. All right. If you stop guessing and you start playing what's in front of you, it is so much easier. Build the thesis, play what's in front of you. Build the thesis, play what's in front of you. Not what you hope's going to happen, play what's in front of you happening. Right now, like I said, there's two options. We hold sort of 404, 400s for a long continuation. We fail under there. We go sideways for a bit. We're probably looking for a short back down to low of day at that point. So ideally looking for pullbacks to hold sort of 400s, 404s and 400s. Failing to hold that will be a problem for the market. All right, watching ES, it's not too far away from its initial balance high here, folks, on the ES. That's how much further up it is. All right, so if it's going to be strong, it can drag the market up. Starting to see a bit of selling there. So some key levels coming up here. Definitely don't mean you, Tyson. I mean everyone. It's definitely not you. You feel like it's you, but so will everyone else, because everyone has the same bad habits. Every single person, including me when I started, right? Same bad habits. Add to losers. Fight the trend. Force your way in. Don't wait for confirmation. That's not a you thing, Tyson. That's a trading thing. There's a reason most traders fail. It's for the exact same reasons. Okay, here's the pullback. Remember, if they don't hold sort of 404, 400, so those RBS levels where the flow zones are, etc., etc., if we start going sideways at that point in that range, then it is likely we go back down towards low of day. QQQ, like I said, got stuck at its VWAP. So we have to hold this RBS level. Failing to hold this RBS level will mean a rotation for this market. ES having a decent sell here back to its VWAP and RBS. So key points coming up in this market now. Decision time. It's decision time for the market. What are you doing, market? Are we holding to go higher, or are we selling and we've just blown out and we're going to go lower? Decision time. A little double bottom there at 408. I would expect they'd probably get swept before we go higher, but who knows? ES looking good, trying to reclaim previous day high, trying to build out a little flag there. Again, ES swept the internal low, traded upside. NQ did not sweep yet, made a double bottom, which it probably wants to violate before it thinks about doing anything else. Take care, Tyson. Yeah, hopefully the runner goes for you. It'd be nice. I would love to see us go all the way back up to high of day. I just think it'd be funny. It'd be funny more than anything. Zoom out here. We are making lower highs and lower lows on this kind of trend here still. Right, so I guess that's the key here. So if we get above that, these moves here become possible. So far it's respecting these pivots. Right, the stronger moves, I guess, from whatever this data was. Down. This was the absorption. Here becomes key. So if we can do this, we violate this and we probably come up for this later. If we do this, we violate this and probably come down. All the time we're holding right now, my bias is upside move. All the time we're able to hold sort of 400s at the moment, my bias would be an upside move. Yeah, trend lines. Yeah, it's just channels. Holding flow zones. Do we expand here? Bit of selling here on the tape at 425. I'd like to see us just get up and go now. Let's just rip some faces here. Let's rip a face off. Let's get going. You do not want to see failure here. You will need to see expansion through 31s. You don't want to see a failure to make a new high. All right, failure to make a new high will not be good. I think we look good here, folks. I think we look really good here. Pumperama, here we go. Lower time frame algo here. Big trend line here, and then up we go into these levels of liquidity. Boom, here we go. Don't bet against me. Do not bet against me, because I will read the market. Here we go. Let's go, baby! ES into IB high. Make sure you are locking in something here as the ES moves into its initial balance high. Let's go. Got to be nimble, got to be adaptable. Cannot be one of those guys who just will not admit what's in front of them in the market. Let's keep going here. Let's just keep going here, market. Having fun. Let's rip some faces here. Love to go all the way back up to that Newsweek high at 504. moving my stop into the money, basically that trend line and that wick high. I don't want to really see a violation underneath 30s. Okay, so I'll just show you sort of here, right? Looking to just rip faces straight up. If it violates it, I'll stop out because I took the first trade, locked in, added back in. As you can see, my average not as good now. My average now is 420s. ES getting stuck at the IB high. So need to be careful here because if we're going to go into a rotation on the ES, we're going to come back down to view up on the ES. Very close to stopping me out here. Can always re-add in. So far it's holding. That's why my stop is just underneath 30. Stopped out. All right, stopped out there. Still a good trade. So first entry was in from like 402s, added in on 419s after peeling some off. Want to be careful here. Again, look at the ES. Make it nice and easy for yourself. ES getting stuffed right here into the initial balance high. If they've just whipped me out by a fucking tick to go higher, I'm going to be fuming. And it definitely looks like they've just done that. I even came under 30s. Oh, you bastard. Absolute bastard. What's the bet this runs now all the way to 504? What a prick. Ah! You gotta love trading for that reason. I probably should have risked the 409, but I didn't want to give that much back because I added into the winner, so I ruined my average a little bit. Survived it by a point. F you, Ken. No, I'm just playing. Good for you, buddy. Good for you, mate. ES can't get through its IB high. All right, very, very clear level. Survived by a point. You all surviving my point. Man, this isn't okay when my students do better than me. This is not okay. Guys, all I want to know now, is, I know I get passionate sometimes, but do you understand what I mean about you can't guess? You cannot guess. It's fine to say, like, if we come up here and stuff, I'll look for the short. But do you see what I mean about you cannot guess? That is the worst habit and the most common habit I see in the book. Do not guess. All right. Hopefully, my rant today has got in some of your heads. Hopefully, I've got in some of your heads. It still looks good here, guys. If ES goes and takes that IB high out, you're looking fantastic. Because that pullback into the imbalance looks good. As long as it holds here, you got a chance to expand, honestly. I'm at the point where I'm thinking about joining back in. Looks really good. Looks fantastic. Needs to break out, though. You need ES to break out. Chris Thorne, learning, no guessing. Yeah. All right, thanks, Lee. Lee Kim. Just put me down, why don't you? I'm just playing with you, folks. But when I get passionate, it's because I don't want to see you lot make all the mistakes I made. I remember being the trader who was like, okay, we've moved down and like we're going to get a pullback, so I'm just going to like slam in short here. But the momentum's going this way, right? So we would need to see what? Rejection. Did we ever get that? We talked about hit. We never got it. So at that point, I'm like, well, there's a good chance we're going to go higher because we should be reacting off these people here, and we're not. If this reaction here was straight up, boom, 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 we would have gone short down. But we didn't react, which means these buyers up here, they're not trapped. More shorts are trapped than these buyers. What's the overall market? Let's just zoom out. 10-minute chart, for example. What's the overall market? Let's look at the swing points in this market. Here's your swing low, created the swing high. Here's your pullback. No new high here. Here's a pullback. It's just absorption to go higher right now. All right, maybe we fail up here, but right now, this and this versus this are probably a 61 fib. Yeah. It's funny how it does it. It just does do it. This is just human psychology. It's just how the market works. This and this was 61 fibs from the major swing points. Would I like this market to move lower overall? Yeah. I'd love this market to puke out for a week or two for two reasons. One, it offers us a great short down. And now we're holding that trend line that we talked about. Remember, trend lines don't work. And two, it offers me the chance to buy back in long term. Because at the moment, I haven't got enough of my position in. Most of my position is sat in cash right now. Yeah, it's crazy, Bowden. I know. To think that it's all just psychology. The reason that Golden Zone works is we have Fibonacci's in every single thing we do in life, and that's just what our eyes are drawn towards. Crazy. I know, it's absolutely crazy. But do you know what the flow zones are? They're rolling fibs. They are rolling fibs. That's why they work so well. They are rolling fibs. The EMA is based on Fibonacci. Looking for a V-buck dip, Ken? I'd just say, just watch your ES a little bit. All right, because it's looking a little bit heavier to me here. If it can't hold, then we go rotation on the ES back down to VWAP. And VWAP's a little bit further down. Your New York VWAP here is a little bit better. But if we break that, we go back into this range. Remember, if we break under here, we come back into here. What is this? This is a problem, right? This is where buyers get trapped up here. Remember, what kind of day are we in? Here's your IB high, here's your IB low, here's your VWAP, range rotation. What are we in a daily? There's yesterday's low, yesterday's high, range rotation. Right? You've got 10 minutes as well to a new Audi bar. Just see that now. At least we got the momentum short and the momentum long. When you think about what I waited for today, momentum short, momentum long. How much easier was this trade and this trade and this trade and this trade than trading this and trading this? That's what you need to ask yourself. What type of trader do you want to be? If you like trading this, you're a range trader. That's fine. Be a range trader. No, nothing wrong with that at all. If you like trading that and you're good at it, obviously stick to what you're good at. I'm not good at that. I'm really not good at that. I'm good at trading momentum. I'm good at trading when traders are trapped. I'm good at identifying when they're trapped and where they're trapped and trading that. So ES needs to get back above that IBH. If it doesn't do it, it's going to build out a micro head and shoulder between the IBH and PDH. All right, you can see it on the ES. If it cannot break out the highs, they will get trap traders there. You will get a rotation back down to VWAP. I'm going to use the bathroom, folks, and I'll be back. You don't think we should give her more of a diet? All right. All right. All right, team. Okay, sweeping this internal liquidity here. Let's get this back to full screen for you. Sweeping this internal liquidity here back to this RBS level. If they hold this now, we can potentially pump. You just got to be careful of that micro head and shoulder, like I talked about, especially on the ES. But this looks better now. You've got 10 minutes though. Well, not even. You've got 7 minutes now for a new H1 bar, folks. But that looks like a good sweep of internal liquidity to go higher in my mind. Very good chance that they can squeeze this now, I would say, if they just caught a load more people. So I probably missed optimal entry, so just watching here to see if there's some momentum coming that I can join potentially. Your optimal entry was the sweep under those lows of 408. So that's where bears got trapped. Again, same theory as earlier, right? Underneath the swing low, it's where bears get trapped. They just got trapped under that level. They're looking for a breakdown. All right, think about this level here. Double bottom, I said it'll probably be violated. There's the violation. There's the trade inside. This is bears trapped. They're trying to force it down. Here's an RBS. This is a reason to go long here, not to go short. Looking good for a squeeze out here. The only problem right now is the time. I've missed optimal entry as well, which is a nightmare because I was just away for just those couple minutes. Cost me. What did they cost me right here? Already cost me 20 odd points. All right, so this is the key point now for ES. It needs to hold previous day high in my mind, ES here, to bid up through the initial balance. If it fails to do that, it's going to be a problem. All right, so it's the second time visiting, so it can create a right shoulder here to go lower on the ES. So this is what you're looking for now. You do not want that right shoulder to go lower. You want absorption versus previous day high and a squeeze out higher. You need the market to start participating. Ideally, Amazon goes red to green. Ideally, Apple starts joining in. Meta is too far away. It's not going to do it. Ideally, Tesla pumps back to 50s. Take care, Trentry. Sorry, I missed that probably before you left. Remember your location now, you're just at the 24-hour VWAP and you're just at the midpoint of your IB or your opening range. You can see the battle on the ES. You can see it here. So I'm not in this. Optimal entry, I would have taken that sweep underneath and along. So I'm just waiting. Time now also not ideal at all. Current point of control on this session is at 404s, which is where I took that breakout from before. So I'd say if they can hold 400s, potential to trade upside later in the session. If they fail and go sideways, then we have sufficient liquidity built out now. If they fail, here's your liquidity. I'm not taking anything here short, but if we get stuck down here, not above it, if we get stuck down here, this is potential for later in the day. If they hold this, they're going to keep trying to get up here. Remember, they can build out liquidity here now. This, keep trying to get higher. You're going to need the mag to participate there, and you're going to need ES to get over the IB high for that play to come in. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Take care, Miguel. Yes, definitely building out that right shoulder here. Definitely back to an RBS level. It's a battle, folks. It's a range market and it's a battle. I'm going to get out of here in 2.5 minutes. So if you've got any questions, I'll pop them in chat now. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I just see that now. Over 4,000 now. Fantastic. Not bad work since September. Happy days. I don't know how I'm going to get up to the point where I have 100,000 like these other people. I was asked on a podcast yesterday, which is fun. I got a message from Austin Silver, so I might go and do that. I like Austin. I think he's a good guy. Yes, finding a bid in front of VWAP again there. NQ back to its VWAP here. This is very, very tricky here. You've got only a couple minutes left. Look at the ES. Look at what it's done today. Think about what an initial balance day is. Look at the ES. Think about a typical initial balance day. Opening range, expansion of range, initial balance, fail, VWAP, retest, fail, underneath IB, reclaim, VWAP, dance, IB high. It is about as atypical as you can get. Failed auction, VWAP, IB high. You don't get much more typical than that. That's why I was saying when we were looking at the NQ, you cannot be forcing shorts when ES is going into a failed auction, right? ES already reclaimed the IB when we were like here. That was giving you a clue of maybe don't short this. Oh, thanks, Lee Kim. Is that good? I don't know what's good. I don't know what's considered good. I wasn't going to watch the final. I'm not too bothered. Is there rugby on tomorrow? That's what I'm more interested in. I'm more interested if we can keep the Lions team fit. When's the European Cup finals in the rugby? This week or next week? That'll be next week. Definitely ugly. Definitely ugly, but yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad. I think it's decent. Yeah, Austin sent me a nice message. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, Alex, what's up, dude? You want to hear something crazy? I asked ChatGPT who runs the most popular YouTube live streams for futures, and you were one of the guys that came up. Well, that was pretty cool because I don't think I can be the most popular. There's people out there with tens of thousands of viewers and stuff, but I don't know. It's good that ChatGPT likes me at least. All right, new hourly bar here. Guess what? The last hourly bar was inside the previous hourly bar. So we're doing nothing. We're based on point of control. Nothing's happening. I really think you got two of the best trades today. I really, really do think so. I don't know if you're going to get anything else for the rest of the day, unless they're going to go on a huge pump and try and go back towards that data high, which is what I'd like to see. Maybe they're going to do it now. Let's just watch for a minute in case they just suddenly get going at lunch. That would be funny. That would be funny if they start going for a ripper at lunch. What's on the tape? 30s. ES is trying to build for it. I think they might just go and have a dirty go at it at lunch. QQQ3 VWAP. ES finding a little bit of selling there in front of the initial balance. It's tempting, but it goes against my rules trading this hour, but who knows what they do. Yeah, of course. That's why, Bowden, that's also why, I know it sounds silly, but that's why I like doing the morning readouts and saying the good mornings, because I get used to the names and I can see who's here every day and who's not. And then when they become a student, I have an understanding of like how long they've been in the stream and what they're learning and what their weaknesses is and stuff like that. You're getting a little bit of a W shape here on the NQ. This market wants to move up. I can already feel it in the tape. They want to move it up. It's dirty that they're going to try and do this over lunch. I'm not going to participate. Like I said, it goes against my rules, but I can feel that they want to try and lift this market up right now. That is such a dirty move to make everyone have to wait till lunchtime and then them do it. Dirty, dirty, dirty. That's what they're trying to do with it. All right, folks. Peace and love. Have a great weekend. Get off the screens. Make sure you're going and doing things that make yourself feel good. We'll go again next week. I'll see if I can do an educational video over the weekend. I've still got to work on the website, but maybe we'll get something going. Use hard stops. Take care. Peace out. Have a good weekend.